So by the time we get to the third at bat, we've seen 10 pitches against this batter. We should know something about them. Keep that in our head. You should know at least 6 of the 9 batters of like, oh my gosh, yes, she did this last time. She likes to hit this. She steps out. She pops up. She drops her hands. She casts away. So she's not going to get to my inside pitch. I'm going to jam her. We have all this information because we're paying attention to their swing. Add that with the catcher, add that with the coach. You guys have a lot of information to go at these batters. Welcome to the Weekly Dose. My name is Jamie, and this week we are going to be talking about how to read batters in the box to help us get them out. So let's talk about it from the batter's perspective. The batter is supposed to be making adjustments to the pitcher. First time through the lineup, they're going to probably be in their comfortable spot that they always stand in. Then the second time, they should be making an adjustment if you have a great pitch. From the batter's perspective, they are going to battle with the pitchers, and their job is to adjust because every pitcher is different. I mean, there's a ton of pitches out there that could be great. They have to make sure to take away the pitcher's great pitch, forcing pitchers to throw something else. If they can eliminate that rise ball and not swing at it or start hitting it, then pitchers are going to be kind of cautious of throwing their rise ball. Now they have to throw their second best pitch more. Does that make sense? So when you see batters adjust in the box, it's not a time to say, oh my gosh, now they're going to hit my best pitch. That's not true. If it's great and it moves, they're still going to struggle some. But they are doing what they are supposed to be doing as a batter throughout the game of making adjustments. And it forces pitchers to make an adjustment. So first step is you really need to have a great pitch, a good pitch, couple good pitches. Being a pitcher that just has one great pitch and the batters can take that away from you, then you're really at a disadvantage and you're probably going to start getting hit and have to come out. So I encourage you to develop yourself so that you're not just one-dimensional, and that you will have more to offer. But let's go back to where they're standing in the box. Okay, three-quarters of the team are going to stand in a neutral position. When we say neutral position, they're not showing any weakness. They're not standing too far away from the plate or toes on the line, close to home plate. They're not in the front of the box or the back of the box. They're just in their normal middle of the box position. So they're showing us, I don't have any weaknesses, and that's fine. We're going to go at them with what we know we have, and we're going to see how they handle it for the second at bat. Okay, so let's talk about, though, if the second at bat or if there is a batter that crowds the plate. Let's start with that one. Their toes are on the line and they are showing you, I'm not afraid to get hit. I am going to stand on this and challenge you and get in your head. Okay, that's a tough batter, and especially some of you in the 10 and unders, 12 and unders, even 14. I mean, this happens even in college. So they wear their Evo shield. They're all protected, so they have no fear. And they're going to say, challenge me. Well, I'm up for the challenge. Are you? So if their toes are on the line and they are close to home plate, you know that they're going to get to an outside pitch better than somebody that's in a neutral position. But we still have to throw it. We still have to mix. We are going to test them, and we are going to try to jam them. And we're going to see why they're doing that. Okay? Do not be fearful to say, oh my gosh, what if I hit her? What if you hit her? Have you hit people before? I have. It's not something to be fearful. They already beat you. By just putting their toes on the line, they've already beat you. That's how weak you are. You have got to go up and stand on that mound and look at her with her toes on the line and be like, I am going to flip and jam you, and I'm going to see if you can handle it. Your victory is her moving off the plate the next at. And inside, that is a win for you, and you should be proud of that because you stood up to the challenge. Do not be fearful. She's been hit before. That's why she wants it. She doesn't care if she gets hit. So I challenge you to challenge her, okay? And there's certain pitches that we may want to do differently when they stand in different parts of the batter's box. But when their toes are on the line, you still mix it. You still have to go in and out. She's trying to take away something, and you'll know after the first at bat what she's good at and what she's not good at. Okay, so she's doing that because she does have a weakness. She does have a weakness, and it's probably inside. Because her inside, she's like, well, I can't hit the inside, so I'm going to stand here and hopefully they hit me. Or hopefully they put it on the plate a little bit more because they're afraid they're going to hit me. Do not let her beat you because of where she stands. It's you and the mound and the river. Your coach can have your back and talk to the umpire next at bat and say, hey, man, like her knees are like bent over the chalk line. Her knees are on the plate. So if she gets hit by a ball on her knees, she has to stay in the batter's box. Tell your coach to fight those battles for you and to talk to the umpire. Let's say you are a drop ball pitcher. You probably have tons of experience of the batters moving to the front of the box to try to take away your drop. They are trying to move up towards the pitcher to get your pitch before it drops. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. You know that if you have a good drop ball, that's going to happen. You can try to spin it a little bit earlier or focus on trying to get it to drop. Something you can practice on your own time and not in a game is seeing if you can get it to drop a little bit earlier, you know, spin it tighter so it kind of can fall sooner if they do move up. But you might have to place it better on and off the plate a little bit more. You may see batters move to the front of the box if you have a great rise ball. So batters can do two things for the rise ball. They can move to the front of the box. Say your speed is just average, but you have a good rise ball. They're making an adjustment. So that's a compliment. They're trying to get it before it rises because they don't have discipline as much. They're like, you know what? I love to swing at this pitch. I might as well go up to the front and get it before it breaks. Or you'll have some batters go to the very back of the box who are disciplined. So it's extra high by the time it gets to them and they know and they can identify that it's a ball. Keep throwing it. Don't get it in your head. We had a pitcher that when she saw the batters kind of move, she started already kind of getting anxious of like, oh my gosh, this pitch is going to hit him or this. You have to stay focused. When I pitched, I really didn't care where they stood in the box. Now, I didn't throw a ton of drop balls, but I still threw my game. And unless 2-3 batters are really getting solid hits off of an adjustment, you can't freak out. Okay, everybody can get lucky, but if it's starting to be like, oh, they're hitting it, then we have to go to something else, and that's okay. The game's about adjusting. So they beat you with your pitch. Now you need to have another pitch to be able to continue to go at them. And you to throw what you know how to throw and take that information from that game and take it to practice to say, okay, so when the batters do this, this is what I need to do. And practice it. Practice it. Because some batters, we've had batters in college who say, I'm going to stand here in the same spot since I've been 10 years old and I'm not adjusting for any pitcher. Not the smartest move, because every pitcher has different stuff and different ammo. So if you're fighting this battle and you're just defending it the same way, you're probably not going to be as successful. So use the adjustments as a compliment and find a way to beat them. You'll see sometimes you have batters, especially at the lower levels where their swings aren't fully finessed or perfected yet, and they'll pull their shoulder out or they'll step out with their front foot, you know, step in the bucket or whatever you want to call it. So we've got to stick with the outside pitches. We've got to be able to identify what's wrong with their swing and throw to their weakness. Most batters, especially at the younger age, have a weakness. And it's really on the coaches to find that because you're too young to really learn. But you've got to be able to find their weakness and stick there until they beat it. So if they're pulling out their front shoulder, they're stepping away, they're not going to be able to hit that outside pitch very strong or very solid. So we've got to stay there. Sometimes you'll see now there's a lot of batters that have that launch angle swing where they're dipping their back shoulder more to swing for the fence or swing for a home run. If you have a good rise ball, you need to throw it. If you have a screwball, you need to learn how to throw a high screw. You've got to be able to take it to their hands and jam them. A lot of the times, even the outside pitch, they'll pop up to right field because they're just not staying on it and through the ball as much. So it'll end up being a fly ball. The batters that swing with that launch angle, they want that low and inside pitch. They want to launch it up. They're swinging kind of like a golf swing. So we want to keep those pitches a little bit more on the higher end. We still have to get strikes, so your curveballs just have to be a true curveball. It can't be a drop curve or things like that. As a pitcher, when we are on the mound, we have to be focusing on throwing our pitch and hitting our spot, but at the same time, we have to be noticing their swing. You'll see there's always one batter in every lineup that is a pull hitter. Like, she just hits everything foul. Great. I can get 0-2 easily on her. I'm going to throw her inside, let her foul a couple off, and then I'm done. Like, I'm done, then I can put her down. You have to notice what they're trying to do. And then that helps you be successful to get them out. You are not a robot. You do not throw the same way to every single batter, to every single game, to every single tournament. Because we have different umpires, we have different batters. You have to learn how to adjust to their swing. And most of them have a weakness. There's some that have a preference. They're looking for an inside pitch. They're looking for an outside pitch because that is their preference. That's the pitch that they like. That's their strength. And so we too have to notice, oh my gosh, she only swings on outside pitches. Okay, so if I know she only swings at outside pitches, I'm going to try to get ahead on the inside because I know she's going to probably take it. Then on the outside, I know she's going to swing. So then I get to put it off the plate more because I know that's her preference. So as the game goes on, pitchers nowadays, they end up getting pulled. Why? We should know the batter's preferences. We should know the batter's strengths. We should know the batter's weaknesses by the third time through. That's where then we get smarter. But we don't see that a ton because we still throwing just what we want to throw and hitting our spots. We're not using that knowledge, that information that they're giving us every single at bat. I mean, every single at bat probably averages 3 to 5 pitches before they hit it or we strike them out or walk or whatever. So by the time we get to the third at bat, we've seen 10 pitches against this batter. We should know something about them. Okay? So we've got to keep that in our head. You should know. You should know at least 6 of the 9 batters of like, oh my gosh, yes, she did this last time. She likes to hit this. She steps out. She pops up. She drops her hands. She casts away. So she's not going to get to my inside pitch. I'm going to jam her. We have all this information because we're paying attention to their swing. Add that with the catcher, add that with the coach. You guys have a lot of information to go at these batters. So let them make adjustments. That's okay. We can't control them. That's an uncontrollable. We've got to focus on continuing to throw our game. Remember, they're adjusting because they struggled off of you. So they're not confident. Just because they move to the front of the box doesn't mean they're confident. They still haven't hit you. So don't freak out. Don't freak out until 2, 3 of them start to make an adjustment. Then we decide to adjust a little bit more. Okay? So in the workout of the week, we are going to be working on certain positions and we give you some ideas of maybe what pitches would be better to throw. So look for that and continue to practice and continue to think about all of it because this is how we get batters out. Good luck.